What's up, Unlocking Your Inner Strength listeners? How would you like to know how much your time is actually worth in monetary value? And I'll give you a hint. If you don't know this, you're pissing away a lot of your valuable time. Well, I have good news for you. I've put together a special report about time mastery that's normally $45, but since you're a loyal listener to the show, you can get it for only $10 at unlockingyourinnerstrength.com/time.
You're listening to The Inner Strength Show. If you want to step into your greatness, you've come to the right place. Here is your host, the human strength expert, Kyle Newell.
What's up, everybody? It's Kyle from Unlocking Your Inner Strength and KyleNewell.com and the creator of Newell Strength once again. This is episode number 62 that you're listening to, and thank you for all the support over the past year plus at this point. Been outstanding, and I appreciate it, and I'm glad you're liking the episodes. For today's episode, I want to talk about the 2 fuels that you need to really make sure that you stick with your fitness and that you achieve your fitness goal. But make no mistake about it, you can use these 2 things, these 2 ingredients for any part of your life. Okay? Let me use the first time I competed in bodybuilding as an example. I had no idea what I was doing. There was a lack of clarity. You know, I'd hired coaches and whatnot to provide clarity, but still, until you actually go through something, you don't really know what the effects are going to be and all that type of stuff. I wasn't sure if I was going to embarrass myself. I didn't know if I would just get destroyed by the competition. So there was fear. There was an element of fear. Yet at the same time, I was very enthusiastic because it was something new. It was a novelty. It was a challenge. I was going somewhere that my body had never gone before. So the 2 ingredients, and that's what really pushed me through or pulled me, I guess, through my bodybuilding time, my bodybuilding competitions, were fear and enthusiasm. So the 2 ingredients you need are those 2 things. Sometimes one is more dominant than the other. Now, fear can really be reframed as excitement. Yet there are times when people act out of fear when it comes to health. Fear and pain are the greatest motivators. People will do a lot more to get out of pain than they will to gain pleasure. It is how we are wired. Now, many times, and this might be you yourself, a doctor might say, look, you're going to die. Maybe not. Maybe they won't say it like that, but if I was a doctor, that's how I would say it, if it was true. But you're going to die. You have heart disease. You already had triple bypass. Your VLDL numbers are off the charts. Chronic inflammation. Or maybe the person did have a heart attack recently. Then all of a sudden, they didn't have time for exercising before, but now they make it a part of their daily routine because they're fearful that their life is going to end. Right? Now that's an extreme example. But there's also times one of my buddies in self-defense class, the reason he took up self-defense was because he got jumped. And he was fearful enough to say, that's never going to happen to me again. If I get jumped, I can be able to handle myself. Now, I also have enthusiasm. You have to be excited about what you're doing. So with the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which I've been talking about and writing about that I'm going to compete in next summer, I'm very enthusiastic about it. It's a novelty. A novelty, as I've talked about in the past, is the greatest aphrodisiac. It's one of the biggest turn-ons for your brain. Now, think about mind mapping. You have the 3 layers of the brain. You have the reptile brain, you have the mammal brain, and you have the human brain, the prefrontal cortex. Now, the human brain loves change. The animal brains despise change. They're built primarily for survival. They want they want to know what's coming. They want homeostasis, things to stay the same. The human brain needs growth. It needs forward progress. And that goes back to the fact, too, if you're not learning, you're regressing, you're dying. If you're not growing, you're dying. There's no such thing as neutral. Get that through your head, okay? So the human brain seeks out growth. The human brain loves novelty. And it's why people say, oh, I want to get a new pair of shoes. I want to get a new house, even though their house is perfectly fine. I want to get a new car, even though their car is perfectly fine. It's novelty. It's a turn on for the brain. I talked about this a couple months ago. Novelty is the greatest aphrodisiac. That's why people cheat in relationships. A lot of the times it's because it's something new and it's fresh and exciting. So when you're thinking of your fitness goal or any type of goal, it's got to be something that makes you enthusiastic. And you can only be enthusiastic about things that are somewhat fresh to you and that have some kind of new outcome that you're trying to achieve. If it's the same old thing, you're not going to be enthusiastic about it. Now, we can only sustain passion, okay, when we're enthusiastic. What's up, Unlocking Your Inner Strength listeners? How would you like to know how much your time is actually worth in monetary value? And I'll give you a hint. If you don't know this, you're pissing away a lot of your valuable time. Well, I have good news for you. I've put together a special report about time mastery that's normally $45, but since you're a loyal listener to the show, you can get it for only $10 at unlockingyourinnerstrength.com/time. Anything that you're not enthusiastic or passionate about, you're not going to be able to do over the long haul. Simply impossible. Because if you're not enthusiastic about it, go back to MindMap, you're going to be using willpower to grunt your way through it. And if you're grunting your way through it and you're using willpower, that's going to burn up. Willpower is finite, both on a macro and micro level. Meaning once that part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, which is a human brain, uses up the blood glucose for the day or for the time block, you're going to have a brain fog. Willpower is literally gone. That's where that part of your brain is based. So if you wait to the end of the day to start that fitness regimen that you've been trying to do or fitness routine, you could have all the intention in the world. Intention doesn't mean anything. But after a long day's work and family obligations or partnership obligations or whatever, your willpower is pretty much shot. Now, you think you're gonna be able to go to the gym then and do an hour workout? Most people won't be able to do that. So you need enthusiasm and passion to make it so willpower doesn't even come into play. Now, fear, your brain, so I'm explaining a lot of this in mind map terms because I wanted to connect with you. So you always have to have an element of these two things. One is going to be more dominant than the other, but they both have to be present. Your brain is built for survival, first and foremost. Everything your brain processes and does is for survival. So, if you've been given bad news by the doctor, or if you have a terrible family history of things like heart disease or cancer, or you were jumped like my friend, there's going to be fear. Your survival has been put to the test. A fitness routine all of a sudden becomes much easier. Does it not? So how do you create these things? So when I was trying to come up with my fitness goal for the next year, I was having trouble. The other parts of my life, the fun, the finance, family, focus, those were a little easier for me to come up with. But fitness, I've done a lot in my life. I've been doing this more than half my life now. So I was thinking of a new strength goal, and I said, that doesn't really do it for me. Then I was thinking of, do you want to do another bodybuilding show? Nope. There's no more fear and enthusiasm for bodybuilding with me. There's no reason to do it at this point. Maybe in the future that'll come back around, but not right now. And I was just racking my brain. I said, well, maybe I'm going to make a sleep goal will be my fitness goal. And I was like, yes, that's very important, but how much fear or enthusiasm is there around sleep? And then I thought about something that a couple people had mentioned to me. A couple different people kept saying, you would really like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And I heard it from enough different sources that the final time I heard it, I said, that's it. That's what it is. I keep hearing this message. There's a reason I keep hearing it. And that's what I'm going to do. Something I know nothing about. So you have the element of fear. You have a physical element of fear. I can get hurt badly doing this. Although I'll be in, let's say the tournament, I'll be in my obviously my weight class, which would be heavyweight. Of course, I don't even know how they do it, super heavyweight. But I'll be going against guys of my level, meaning I'm not going to be going against master black belts. I'll be going against beginners. So I think I'll be okay with my strength and whatnot and conditioning. But you could get hurt. A thought crosses my mind. What if my knee gets snapped? I've got the two completely restructured knees with the patella tendon ruptures and all the other damage. So there's fear, but that excites me. That's been driving my training. Like I told you last time, what if Braxton says, Mommy, why did he stop to fight? Well, Daddy was too tired. Not going to happen. That's an element of fear. And I'm also enthusiastic because it's made me change the way I'm looking at my training and my nutrition and all that stuff. Everything's going to be geared towards that now, towards being the best that I can possibly be at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which I think is really, really cool. So I have an element of fear, an element of enthusiasm. That's going to carry me through. That's easy. That is easy. Try to stick with something that you don't have enthusiasm for or there's no fear driving it in some way or another. So the key is to find a way to have both of those elements with whatever you're trying to do. Okay? Same thing goes for Newell Strength as I've built that. There's an element of fear, especially as we expand. When I stop teaching all this stuff. And there's an element of enthusiasm, doing something I love to do. There's no willpower with this. I could do it all day. It's passion. So that's what I got for you today. I want you to kind of use that and think about a fitness goal, but think about also how you can apply it to other areas of your life. If you got a lot out of this episode, please don't hesitate to share it with a friend. And I can see who left me a review on iTunes so far. So if you have, I thank you. And if you haven't, please do so. It only takes you a minute. Leave a review so it'll help more people find the show. I'll be back next week with episode number 63. Peace.
You've been listening to The Inner Strength Show. If you enjoyed the show, remember to subscribe, rate, and review us in iTunes.